love it.
I don't know about how you guys feel. I get so frustrated when people don't take action.
Yeah, like, I'll have all the conversations.
Yeah, like we get so much information as a unit. We get so much information all the time, and I'm not gonna stop, right? Like my fire's not dimming, but it's like I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I need 100 people. Like, let's go.
Right. So that's like, I think that's I actually like have talked about this a lot with like people in terms of like why we don't actually like as a people we don't ever like jump at opportunities when we're presented them. And you know, I have a talking to people is like. You have to think. I think about it much more in a historical context. Like historically, we don't have like
the safety net
to
jump.
Like, if we mess this up, like we up here.
Yeah, exactly. Our fear and our fear of risk is legitimate. It comes from a deep place that is rooted
and historically
in
we've seen how it's happened, right?
Once people get fired up, they really need to be handheld through the process. And you are handholding investors through the process, and we're handholding buyers, like mostly first-time buyers, but not always.
The majority of our properties are found through direct marketing, through working with individual sellers versus going through like realtors and some of the more traditional methods.
I don't win on the ones where there are a bunch of people that are looking at the property. I win on the ones where there's like in the neighborhood and 5 people show up for the auction, and I'm one of the 5. Or the courthouse steps. I'm one of the courthouse steps where you might have 6 people come, but they're selling 7 properties, and so people are dispersed. Once they get one, they're out of it for good. But like the other ones where there's like one house at a time, it's so hard because it's like you have like institutional, you have investors that are there who have like money to run, and particularly if it's like multi-units, they forget about it, right? And so in those areas, we just don't have, I don't have the capital to run up against them eventually.
The thought is, because we have access to a bunch more over there, is there may be something that we can bring folks in different places, and how do we kind of build that cohort and community of investors who focus in the same area.
Our goal here is that it is possible to create wealth without like stripping our folks.
That's been like my view of Holland Market and Pigtown in particular is that we already know that there's movement there. And you think about how close it is to downtown, and you see the La Cite and all the other projects that are happening all around it. That, to me, that's like prime location.
There's a lot of that same kind of commercial development going on in the East Baltimore area too. So like I'm down for over there, Pigtown, Holland Market. I think that there's a lot of opportunity there. But I don't know, there's a few of us investors that have been talking about the fact that we're all doing things in the same area, and how can we come together and community and think kind of collectively on how we market and do a lot of things.
So the properties that I bought, everything I bought has been at $85,000 and below. And none of them are like, they're all houses that need some work, but you're not like full gut rehab, right?
Which is huge.
And you think about like you're right by the University of Maryland, you're right downtown.
Biopark's about to be popping.
About
CIC in that big crowd there.
The reason we chose this neighborhood is because it's a buffer zone to the rest of West Baltimore. You could get a house that needed some work, but wasn't like a total gut renovation shell for $100. And people were getting gut renovation shells for $25 to $50. Now, the shells that need a lot of work are going for $1 to $150. So yeah, this one was $125. How do we ensure that like what we don't have happen is like we get a whole generation of Black folks into houses now so that they can cash out and like flip without plans 2 generations from now? How do you support and sustain in this city Black homeowners and renters, and eventually Latinx folks, because this is also starting to happen on the east side.
I think that's one of the things that why we do these events is that I don't like to call it hand holding because I think there's like a negative connotation to that, but you have to meet people where they are, and their concerns are very legit. Like they've seen their family lose wealth, they've seen themselves lose wealth. Part
of the problem is that we have now created an expectation around real estate that you're going to buy something that is going to appreciate 100, 200%. When actually the way that it used to work was that you might appreciate your property might appreciate in value somewhere between 10 and 30% over your lifetime. But the point was you paid your mortgage down, and that's actually where you created wealth. And that neighborhoods weren't supposed to inflate so dramatically. This is a recent phenomenon. It used to be that you bought a house and you saw it as a lifelong investment, so that as you got closer to retirement, you could draw down on the money you'd put into that house to send kids to college, to retire, to start businesses. The city also has properties, and that's the other thing that we've started to do is build a relationship with the city to figure out how do we move properties. Specifically, they want more home buyers to acquire the properties that they have than developers.
Right.
But most home buyers are afraid to take on these properties. So how do we help with the home buyers and these investors to bring folks together so that they want to see, you know, they're like, we could sell this house. We have a house right now on this block that the city is willing to sell for $30,000, right? But they want a home buyer to own it. They don't want it to go to a developer because they want the profit that's going to be created to go into the pocket of that family and not into the pocket of a developer. So, but we can't find a home buyer who's willing and ready to take on that bigger project because people are really afraid of it. So part of this is about like, how do we make this culturally like the thing to do? The majority of folks, to your point, are going to follow. For us, like that's the piece that we really want to push as Briazzi is like creating this framework where young Black people who are from this city are like, yo, like how'd they get put on?
Right.
And that is really more than anything, like
That's
we just
where
have to
tipping
get the
point.
followers that way because they're not going to take that leadership.
Right.
But if we hold a handful of them who are willing to take a risk but are scared, they will be the push that actually gets critical mass.
It's like, we're under 30, we're doing it. Y'all can too. Like, you know, we figured it out and made it work. Like, it's not a foreign concept, but it's more so making it feel real and obtainable to people so that they can actually go for it and do it themselves.
12 engine. Wish I could take it back to the beginning. I could have bought a place in Dumbo before it was Dumbo for like $2 million. That same building today is worth $25 million. Guess how I'm feeling?